Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Stevia Wisania Justina, and I would like to present export and import of global marketing chapter. Export selling versus export marketing. Export selling involves selling the same product at the same price with the same proportional tool in a different place. While export marketing tailor the marketing mix to international customers as organizations seek to move operation into other countries, they need to make the basic decision regarding their level of involvement in the forex market. And requirements for export marketing are an understanding of the target market environment, the use of market research and identification of market potential, and decision concerning product design, pricing, distribution, and channel advertising and communication. As exporting is becoming increasingly important as companies in all parts of the world step up their effort to supply and serve markets outside the nation boundary, the research have shown that exporting is essentially a developmental process that can be divided into the following distinct stages, or called organizational export activities. The first, the firm is willing to export, or it will not even fill unsolicited export order. Then, the firm fills unsolicited export order but does not pursue unsolicited order. Such a firm is an export seller. Then, the firm explores the feasibility of exporting. This step may pass stage 2. And the last, the firm exports to one or more markets on a trial basis. And organizational export activity consists of the firm is experienced exporter to one or more markets. After this success, the firm pursue country or region-focused marketing based on certain criteria, and then the firm evaluates global market potential before screening for the best target market to include in its market strategy and plan. National policy governing export and import. Nations have combined two opposing policy attitudes toward of the goods cross national boundaries. There is government program that support export, and then there is governmental action to discourage import and block market access. Government commonly use three activities to support export activities of the national firms. First, tax incentive. Tax incentive is earning from export activities. Trade earning from export activities preferentially either by applying a lower rate to earning from these activities or by refunding tax already paid on income associated with exporting. Then subsidize. Government support export performance by providing outright subsidies, which are direct or indirect financial contributions that benefit producers. Subsidies can severely distort trade patterns when less competitive, but subsidized producers display competitive producers in the world market. And the third is governmental assistance. Governmental assistance actor company can avail themselves of the great deal of government information concerning the location of the market and the credit risk. Assistance may also be oriented toward export promotion. The governmental action to discourage import and block market access, such as tariff, import control, and non-tariff barrier, are measures that designed to limit the inward flow of the goods. Tariff can be thought of as the three areas of global business: rule, rate, schedule, and regulation of individual countries. A non-tariff trade barrier is any measure other than tariff that deterrent or obstacle to the sale of the product in foreign market, also known as a hidden trade barriers. Non-tariff trade barriers include quotas, discriminatory, restrictive custom procedure, and arbitrary monetary policy and restrictive regulation. Tariff system. There are single column tariff and two column tariff. Single column tariff is simplest type of tariff and the schedule of duties in which area applied to import from all countries on the same basis, while two column tariff is usually general duties plus special duties applied. Under the two-column tariff, column 1 includes general duties plus special duties indicating reduced rate determined by tariff negotiation with other countries. Rates agreed upon by convention are extended to all countries that qualify for normal trade relations. NTR are formerly most favored nation or MFN status with the framework of the WTO. Under the WTO, nations agree to apply the most favorable tariff or lower tariff rate to all countries, subject to some exceptions. There are signatories to the WTO. And column 2 show rate for countries that do not enjoy NTR status. Preferential Tariff. Preferential tariff consists of reduced tariff rate applied to import from certain country, and GATT prohibit the use with three exceptions. Historical preference arrangement already exists. Preference is part of formal economic integration treaty. Industrial countries are permitted to grant preferential market access to LDCs. Custom duties. Custom duties are divided into two categories. They may be calculated either as a percentage of the value of the goods or ad valorem duty, as a specific amount per unit, or specific duty, or as a combination of both of these methods. Before World War II, specific duty were widely used and the tariff of many countries, particularly those Europe and Latin America, were extremely complex. Since the war, the trend has been toward the conversion to the ad valorem duties. That is, that this expresses a certain percentage of the value of the goods. Other duties and import charges. Anti-dumping duties are almost invariably applied to products that are also manufactured or grown in the import country. And countervail duties. Countervail duties are additional duties levied to offset subsidies granted in exporting country. And variable import levies apply to certain category of imported agricultural products. If price of import product would undercut the domestic product, the effect of these levies will be raise the price of import product to domestic price level. And temporarily, surcharges have been introduced from time to time by certain countries, such as UK and the USA, to provide additional protection for local industry, in particular in response to balance payment deficit. Key export participants. There are foreign purchasing agents, which is variously referred to as a buyer for export, export commission house, or export confirming house. They operate on behalf of and are remunerated by an overseas customer. And there is export broker or export merchant, receive a fee for bringing together the seller and overseas buyer. And there is export management company, the term used to designate an independent export firm that act as the export department for more than one manufacturer. There is export distributor, a middleman who handle consumer or business good export that may be manufactured or not manufactured. There is cooperative exporter, an export organization of a manufacturing company retained by other independent manufacturers to sell their product in some or all foreign markets. Freight forwarder, licensed specialist in traffic operation, custom clearance and shipping tariff and schedule. Simply put, they can be thought as a travel agent or freight. And manufacturer export representative can act as export distributor or as export commission representative. Organizing for exporting in the manufacturer's country. Export can be handled as a part-time activity performed by domestic employee, through an export partner, through an export department, or through an export department with international division for multi-divisional company is possibly exist for each division. Organizing for exporting in a market country. Direct market representation have advantage to control and communication, and representation by independent or intermediate have advantage for best for situation with small sales volume. Export financing and methods of payment consist of documentary credit or letter of credit, documentary collection of bill of exchange, cash in advance, sell on open account or sell on consignment basis. And this is a flowchart of documentary credit. First, the buyer and the seller conclude a pro forma invoice or seller's contract providing for payment by documentary credit. Then, the buyer instructs his or her bank, the issuing bank, to issue a credit in favor of the seller. Then, the issuing bank asks another bank, usually in the country of the seller, to advise or confirm the credit. And then the advising or confirming bank informs the seller that the credit has been issued. Sourcing. In global marketing, the issue of customer value is incredibly tied to the sourcing decision. In today's competitive marketplace, companies are under intense pressure to lower costs. One way to do this is to locate manufacturing and other activity in China, India, or the low-wage country. As this discussion suggests, this decision of where to locate key business activity depends on the factor beside the cost. There are no simple rules to guide sourcing decision. Indeed, the sourcing decision is one of the most complex and important decisions faced global company, and several ways to do it is by mass emphasizing benefit of sourcing from country other than home country, mass assess vision and value of company leadership, and evidence can be gained by concentrating some marketing activity in single location, leverage company know-how, and tapping opportunity to product development and R&D. And that's all my presentation. Thank you for your time. Okay, that's all my presentation and thank you for your time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.